scoreboard. They were waiting for the win to come through. They were so close throughout the day. They got a second, they got a sixth. They've gotten the victory royale.
Sometimes it's just crazy enough until it works, and Vanya completely out of options. The only choice to be made in that instance, Takata, was to try and chase down that final elimination, at least keep them in the line of sight to apply that pressure. But the high ground hold here was so impressive. Maybe a slight bailout, though, from Cammy and Hadi, because they did kind of sandwich Venom, Vico, and Flixie in the process, but still, Marius had to keep his cool collected.
And that is exactly what he did, counting on Vanya in those last moments to chase Chicho down for the final pump shot. 24 HP is what he had left when he connected the shot, and that is definitely gonna boost them into the top 3. I'm excited to see how it's looking, but I'm more excited to see Frankie, Levin, and Mini. Take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. That is the Vanya we have loved watching in FNCS for the past couple of years. It feels like despite their 4th place on the leaderboard going into Game 10, they've slightly been missed major, but now we've seen them finally take a victory royale. It feels like order is restored, Mini Miner.
Yeah, it definitely does. This is a prime sort of Vanya Pixie Marius win. This is exactly how I expected them to play at the beginning of the weekend. I expected more of this sort of high ground domination, and wow, what a high ground domination it was. They kept reconnecting down below. Nobody could really even look up, and then they got so far into the game that then Vico, Venom, Flixie thought to look up as well, and they decided to spray them out. And again, they're a really good team at doing that, but Levin, they were able to just bat them away really effectively, and I think a couple of other trios definitely helped them in that push, but a huge win for these guys and a great push for them.
I love the drone shot there of their height, right? The connection points, just how solid it looks. Anybody looking up is thinking, yeah, no chance for us at all. This is what we've been waiting to see. Like you guys have both said so well. And a perfect time to see it, right? So many of their top competitors high up there in the leaderboards didn't have quite the best of games. First place in particular, Fredoxy's trio had gone down, and so if there was ever going to be a time to push for a comeback, it was now. But even with that being said, I didn't think they were going to win this game. Like, in the final moments, I'm looking down, I saw was getting ready to come in here and be like, hey man, Tayson with a win, hey, big win for Tayson. But I guess these guys said, nah, don't count us out too early. Marius, Vanya, catching it with the perfect timing. I mean, you know, I know a lot of us in that situation might have missed that shot. You know, I know I would have missed that shot. So, you know, the best of the best, they don't miss those situations, and that's exactly what Vanya is.
You're able to do today?
Not only are they at their most comfortable in
Defend
the
me,
high ground, they are also fighters, but can they fight for the top spot? We will see if they can continue with a back-to-back major win after the next couple of games. So let's go to a break, and we'll go onwards with the tournament.
Woo! What is he? I'm telling you what, bro. What the heck? Kami, no kami. Tagal kami baru ako muwa dito. What's gonna go kami dito? What happened, bro? Kami. Coming up with Gen 11, the final. Europe nila. Europe nila ako may bawa at school. Check. Like, magpuro na. Marada. Wah, hello. Pablo. Kamoms-pubg.
There are just two more games of the FNCS Europe competitive season, and they are going to be absolute bangers. Judging by how the gaps on the leaderboard are closing, it's very tough at the top. But it was a good showing for one of those contenders in the last game. Vico, Venno, and Flixie, they managed 11 eliminations and a 5th place, and when they are making it to these end games 11, they do tend to be picking up a lot of names.
Look, very good game to close the gap even more. Initially a missed opportunity, right? You know, you don't know how many of those games you're going to get where Chino and them do absolutely nothing. And so, you know, they want to maybe squeeze a bit more out of that game, right? That was a game I was, you know, hoping that they could win against maybe take. Regardless of that, though, Mini Miner, I know these next couple games are going to get freaky. So something crazy is going to happen. It's just guaranteed. With how close it is now, I saw, you know,
Moshi, ay. Dar es Salaam, Moshi, natoka Dar es Salaam, Moshi huko.
I don't know what's going to happen these next two games, but I know it's going to blow my mind.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be really exciting.
Mini
Some sort of a solid game here. We're sort of speaking in the back when
Big Vico, Muaji,
Fred
bro.
Oxy's team would have gone down. They probably would have, so they knew they needed a solid game. Again, it's one of those sort of games where, as you mentioned, they could have done a little bit better, but it keeps them in it. It keeps them up on the top of the leaderboard. There's even a potential for Vanya Pixie Marius to squeak in there as well. So we've still got a very close race at the top of the leaderboard. It's just about now, what's Fred Oxy going to do? Is he going to continue that sort of W key? We're going to see a little bit more reserved game plan from them. Are they going to stick to what works? I'm not too sure yet.
There were difficult moments for quite a few of the trios in the top 10 in that last game. However, Tayson, Chicho and Haris, they are constantly there at the end game right now, Mini Miner. It's no surprise to see them still in 5th position. They are definitely looking comfortable for global championships. I'm not so sure about them managing to make it to the number 1 spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll be really happy with how they're doing today. Of course, they are already qualified from last major as well, so they already have that sort of, flexibility, that little bit of freedom, right? But I think what I'm expecting from these guys is just more of the same. They seem to do really well when it comes to these end games, playing that low ground as we mentioned before, and Chicho in particular has been clutching up so many points for this team, and the way that they were able to sort of stay alive as a trio here in the end game was really strong too. So they've been keeping up their 11. They've been keeping in that position.
Yeah, honestly, at this stage, I'm at the point with these guys where I'm very chuffed, right? You know, when you look at Tayson and sort of the year and a half he's had, there were a lot of washed allegations, you know? There was a lot of people saying he's to pick it up, he's done, and now, you know, assuming they close it out similar to this position, you know, around that 5th spot, that's going to be 2 back-to-back majors where Tayson's had a good result, and that's, you know, a very good sign going into the global championships. It's good to see him, Haris, and Chicho perform.
But with that in mind as well, I mean, you could have said that about Seti and Cami's trios, and I know that Cami hasn't necessarily had the best finals here. He's definitely shown, though, that there is definitely a skill there, but we've got to talk about Seti, because Seti is absolutely challenging for that top spot. Yes, he might not have the same firepower across the board as Prodoxy's trio, but it's been a really impressive showing so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been very impressive. It's been exciting. I can't wait for the excitement. None of us can wait for the excitement. And I mean, thinking in terms of the leaderboard, It's heating up, Taco. It's definitely heating up.
Things are definitely getting pretty crazy out there, Takada. Nobody is safe. Levin already mentioned it, but you got Ferdoxy looking to get a little bit wicked on socials. And if this is how it's going to turn into an ultimate brawl fest between some of our top-end teams in EU, I am all for it, Takada, because what looked like it was going to be a two-horse race has now opened up for a few other teams. So let's see what Game 11 has in store.
A lot is on the line here for these final two matches. Cammy's done a great job to push himself into currently the borderline, the cutoff to qualify to the Global Championship is 330 points. Mr. Savage, CZB, Nathan, these are two trios that are right below them, right below that cutoff. And if you look at the top end of the leaderboard, Fredoxy at 614 points, Vico Venoflixi 580, a lot closer now to that first place spot.
Well, one point of pressure that's definitely been a little bit alleviated is Outpost, Enclave, Vadil, Cringe, Volko, no longer being immediately 50-50 contested at this drop. Right now sitting just on the outskirts of the leaderboard. Takada heading into this lobby, they are in that 12th place position. So they're definitely not out of this fight just yet for globals.
City.
But some teams might be out of the lobby pretty early on here at Supernova Academy because Pablo, Ferdoxy, Chino, they've got company.
For trio in second place.
Kind of
what a good place for now.
A team would want to take their chances, but sometimes you never know the way the cookie's gonna crumble.
I feel like they knew they were getting dropped on too with, you know, Fredoxy posted on socials 3 for 3 off spawn. Wanted to get a real quick bit of practice in before it started. Looks like it was Robin.
And she beamed someone with the kill switch forward.
Chino's not convinced.
Pretty sure that was most likely.
He knows someone is lurking.
Not be able
and he's trying to outlurk them. Fredoxy and Pablo can take care of the other affairs, but Chino's sick of the wait. He's ready to get a move on, get a little bit more involved. But Robin, silent as a mouse, just tucked away inside of the buildings at Supernova Academy, and Chino isn't careful. Could find himself getting knocked, and that would leave them in a pretty awkward position. But Robin as a solo, even if he gets one, he still has to deal with the other two.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's a battle from, you know, opposite ends of the leaderboard. It's almost been a blessing for Pablo, Ferdoxy, and Chino. Some quick eliminations off the start. But the issue is, you know, you can get the good elims, but the whole point, the whole play style from Ferdoxy, Chino, and Pablo is to be very quick in the early game and get out of there as fast as possible and start disrupting the players around you. So it is going to be tough that they can't do that anymore. Looks like for Cammy, Hydrop and Hari though, huge start, especially considering the place they are right now in the standings. This is exactly what they wanted.
Well, it's not only that, but it seems like that earlier, somewhat of a gentleman's agreement where both teams had initially been splitting Shining Span, and Cammy Hardy, they got sick of it. They're like, what are we giving these guys half our POI for? So early fights, early outcomes just mean more stealth opportunities. Foxy Floodgate could start getting a little bit of motion here from Maciak for Hala. Kaisers, all depends. Are they going to be able to find a big opening shot here onto Trexer or Mappy? They are so patient. The discipline right now, Takada. They want to be fully convinced that it's over for Trexer before they take that first shot. The 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
It's right there, but Trexer, he might just get far enough. Still, Maciak, Kaiser for Hala.
Little quicker, come on now.
I'm more amazed at the fact that someone in the that's at like the top of the stairs in Narnia hasn't spotted what's going down here, though. Maybe it's a little bit too early. They're not done with building the ramps just yet, but...
One gray AR. Not sure what the team is looking like. This is a good opportunity, though. Trexers a bit split up now at the vending machine. They want to make a play. I mean, I guess they're banging on the vending over here.
They're just far enough away that if they don't connect, with 3-2-1 immediately, they're probably cooked because Maniac only has a great spire rifle. These guys are but they can finish this. But Trexus throws up the wall. They don't even get the chance to take a shot. They were scouted out before. Still, Trexer on the run, dropping all the way to the bottom of Foxy Floodgate. Sound the alarms though. The rest of his team knows this is a mayday situation. They're trying to catch up, but Trexer connection out of Brawlhalla. But here are the true Mappy. Reinforcements have arrived for Hala and Maciak. Kaisers, Maciak incredibly hurt. He needs for Hala and Kaisers to get supportive measures here. But now they're playing a little bit more split than what they had initially been after. Mappy, Trexer cheating. Might actually be able to 180 this into their favor.
Tough spot to be in, stuck without anywhere to go. Hala gonna either have to hit a big shot here, make something happen. Trexer looking for an angle. Good news is no potential third parties in sight. If you look at the bottom right of the mini-map.
The other issue that's developing though is that with Rift Island spawning in shortly, there's definitely going to be other teams that are going to get drawn to the area. It's a bit of an awkward spot for them to be fighting in. For Hala, Kaisers, Maciak, they've essentially burrowed themselves into a hole that they aren't going to be able to get out of unless they fight their way through. Trexer's not being cheating, but Trexer might be cheating. They've got every angle closed off. This entrapment and Kaiser's shield gone. Take soon to follow. For Hala though, this Trexer Mappy cheating, making quick work of Maciak's trio. 2 eliminations, only survivor right now is for Hala, but with no shield and just waiting for that cooldown refresh. He's not going to get the chance on the cave. He's fully locked out.
Taking a bit as long as the 3-2-1 got forced into the worst situation, stuck down below. Still got one more match though to make something happen. Snazy on the other end, barely escaping with that mist form right on into the bush, but when you got Queasy and Swizzy chasing after you, it's only a matter of time. No big shots coming through yet. Seems like a whole other trio actually playing. Yeah, a whole other trio close by. Queasy has to be careful. Potential 3-2-1 will come onto it.
Queasy's got red in his eyes. It's actually Swizzy that's going to be the first one knocked from Ivan Arquise. And Ifrozy intervening. Queasy just he can make some form of escape, but that is not going to be an option. He'll have to wait for the final lobby. And they're going to need a big performance because right now they were just sitting outside of that top 5 threshold on the leaderboard, Takada, and this early spill is going to be very disastrous for that leaderboard.
Yeah, that's tough. It's incredibly close in the top 5 currently, so going down in 6th place now is definitely not what you want. Ivan gonna go help his teammate now. I don't think they know Snazy is in that bush directly in front of them though.
That's fine. They don't need to know. That's what Snazy is kind of banking on, that these guys have no idea, but Ivan's bigger than that, and Snazy, it's just a lot of delays. I like the fact that, you know, there's still some life left in the fight, but Snazy knows his time is up in match 11. Ivan, Ifrozy, and Artis just picked the perfect time to strike. And that's a big part of the problem spread across the map here, Takada, is that teams that weren't anticipating these early fights, you just don't know what's going to happen at your drop because so many different elements are just shifting at once.
Trulex left as a solo. Not the spot you want to be in. Being kind of on, not the literal borderline, but pretty close to it for qualifying to globals. So going down here, not a good look. The good news is no pursuit onto him, so a bit of time to kind of play it slow here, wait for the zone to pull on in, and then go for that reboot in the zone when it's less likely that there's players around you.
Just having to wait, though, for those teams in the surge base to actually rotate out, because the trio could very easily even if they don't get that elimination, they just hold you for so long. Pablo, Chino, Prodoxy, now opting, try and apply some pressure against Pixie and Vanya and their surge base. And Vanya, Pixie, we know that they love stockpiling more than enough heals. They're not really in any threat right now, but Volko, Vadil, Cringe, they are just getting collapsed on right now. And Cringe, it's Artis, Ifrozi, and Ivan that they took the challenge with. Cringe might be able to ultimately win this battle, though, and that would be massive for Vadil and Volko. And RT's definitely feeling the pressure. He's gonna try to run away. He wants to at least play spoiler. He's trying to make it to Cringe's teammates' bodies. He wants to eliminate them fully. Just make this lobby all the more difficult for Vadil's trio. But Cringe closing in. Takada, he might be able to just play for the revive and just draw Artis in closer to him. But he has to start going for a revive because he needs to heal his teammates before they get knocked by the storm.
So much pressure on Cringe's shoulders here. Is able to pick up the deal though. Now upper hand in the 2v1. The pursuit's gonna come through, but I was gonna say go for Volko, but a little too late. Volko goes down. The good news is now they're able to bring Volko back into the game shortly here, and it could have been a lot worse if Cringe ended up going down, but Vico Veno Flixi getting a bit of movement in.
Veno, see if he can get the opening shot onto HVIS, but gotta choose your battles wisely. Veno, Vico, Flixi, they know whether they get these knocks or pure eliminations. They wanna lock down their surge damage. Vico, Veno, Flixi from overhead. A little bit of smothering taking place now for Tastage Trio. They're definitely feeling the pressure. And Vico not willing to budge either on HVIS's wall. Veno from overhead trying to open up a separate angle to try and get a little bit of additional pressure in. But Chicho and Tayson, they are boxed up tight. They do not want to allow for any small openings, any cracks to slip through. But they're constantly on the back foot here, just getting pushed further and further back into Storm.
Another full trio too, getting closer and closer, sneaking on up. The danger levels are rising, and they know this. Chicho doing what he can to back up a little further. Flixi, Vico, and Veno know how important it can be to finish these off. These fights off quickly. As Tayson gets knocked, it's exactly what they're gonna end up doing. Medmist gonna come through. Vico now looking for an angle, a potential full box onto Haris here. He gets it, he connects, and that's another knock for the trio. But now the third party is very close, and this could be detrimental.
This is where that Spire control really comes into play. Vico, Veno, and Flixi made fast enough set of eliminations there that now even with Wheat, Sinet, and Nefrizi looking to try and challenge them, this might be more than what Wheat, Sinet, and Nefrizi have bargained for. They'll probably just be happy to take the leftovers of Chicho. But one more time, Takada, we're looking at teams in that top 5 threshold of the leaderboard that are just encountering some early problems, some early departures. And now to Frizi, Sined, they might just need to take that victory and try and... Veno, Flixi, and Vico are knocking down the doors, and they might just force Sined into a fight that he doesn't want at all, just continuing to try and run away. But Veno refusing to let this one go.
I mean, it was looking third party, but Vico, Veno, Flixi, they're all for it. They said, come on over. We'll invite you to the party, actually, if you want. As now the aggression's onto them. Sined, Wheat, and Frizzy doing what they can to escape. Turned into predator to prey quite quickly, but Vico, Veno, Flixi now, they're going to take the safe route. They got their eliminations, they got their damage. They're running a bit low on materials here, so no point in continuing with that pursuit. They're going to back up, play calm, collected again, recuperate those mats, and go forwards. But hold on, Awful, focus mixing. Maybe they're not even done pushing these players.
Veno, Vico,